I mean, what do you think I can get for it? I mean, how motivated do you think the seller is? What do you think they'll take?
If you're a wholesaler or a flipper and you're not pursuing on-market properties that are listed for sale with real estate agents, you're missing out on some good deals. But making offers to agents can be a little intimidating if you don't know how. So in today's video, I'm going to show you my 5-step process for making cash offers to agents and even a live deal breakdown so you can see it in action. All of that and more coming up.
This video is brought to you by Free Comps, a free software that gives you the value of any house in seconds. Get your free copy now at compmydeal.com.
If you're new here, I'm Jerry Norton. I went from dead broke to millionaire flipping houses, and after doing 1,000 deals, I created this channel to help you master the art of wholesaling and flipping real estate so you can live your dream life. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified when new videos are released. I do a lot of videos here on my channel about how to wholesale and flip on-market properties that are listed for sale with real estate agents. Now, if you're new to that idea or you're unsure about how real estate agents play a role in representing distressed sellers, then I have a video that explains how agents work, how they get paid, and how you as an investor can acquire on-market deals to either wholesale or fix and flip. Now, I highly recommend you watch that video. I'll put the link in the description below for you. On this video, I'm going to assume that you already have a basic understanding about finding deals on market, but just to be crystal clear, yes, you can find distressed properties for sale on market. Yes, motivated sellers list properties for sale with real estate agents. Yes, you can get great deals on market, and yes, you can even wholesale on market properties. But you have to understand that you're not working directly with the seller. You don't even talk to the seller. You have to use a real estate agent to negotiate and write the offer. Remember, the seller signed an exclusive agreement to use a real estate agent to find a buyer and sell the property, so you have no choice. You have to work with a real estate agent. Now, that's good and bad. The downside is you don't get to talk to the seller, so it's difficult to know what their real motivation is. Everything is filtered through the agent. The upside is you don't have to try and figure out what the heck is going on with the seller. I actually love that because since I'm not dealing with the seller directly, it's not personal. Here's my offer. Either the seller takes it or doesn't, but there's no drama to worry about. Other than agent drama, which does happen, but there's no seller drama, which is really nice. Now, before we dive into what I call the 5 phases of making offers to agents, I have a really big tip for you, and that is to follow my double dip technique, where instead of using a buyer's agent to represent you and make the offer, instead go directly to the listing agent unrepresented. This gives the listing agent the opportunity to not split the commissions with another agent and earn the full commission, which is usually 6%. If you're in a state that allows dual agency, the listing agent will also represent you as the buyer's agent. If you're in a state that does not allow dual agency, which I think there are like 14 states that don't do dual agency, you can accomplish the same objective by having the listing agent become what's called a transactional coordinator. Now that means they technically only represent the seller, but they'll facilitate the buyer side in the transaction and can still get the full commission, which is the point. By going directly to the listing agent unrepresented on each and every deal, you'll create a strong relationship with listing agents who will be motivated to work with you and contact you with their future deals. And that's because they earn double the commission. Now, if my double dip technique is unclear at all, be sure to watch a video where I break it down in detail, link in the description. So now that that's out of the way, let me break down the anatomy of making offers to real estate agents. And I'm also going to cut to a real live example of a deal that I just made an offer on so that you can see this in action. I believe there are 5 phases to making offers to real estate agents. The first phase is pretty simple, and that's your introduction. When you call a listing agent about his or her listing, get right to the point and let them know you're an investor and you want to make a cash offer. This allows them to pivot the conversation from retail to investor and immediately grabs their attention. Here's what I typically say. Hi, Mr. Agent, I'm calling about your listing on blank street. I'm an investor interested in making an all-cash offer. And as a side note, even if you're a wholesaler, you still say cash offer because your cash buyer is going to pay all cash, so it's still cash. Another way to say this is, Me and or my partners pay all cash. And of course, your partners is referring to your cash buyers. Or you could say, I work with a group of investors who pay all cash. And group of investors, again, is referring to your cash buyers. This is really simple. Take a listen.
Yeah, Eric, how's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
Good. I'm an investor interested in your property in Memphis.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the other thing that's important to do is establish the double dip relationship. Let the agent know you're unrepresented and you'll let him get the buyer side commission. I'll say something like, I'm unrepresented and I'd like to let you write the offer for me so that you can get both sides of the commission. How does that sound? So take a listen.
Yeah, well, here's the deal, Eric. I am licensed, but I would let you write the offer so you get both sides of the commission.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, you can do that?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Okay, so after the intro, the second phase to making cash offers to agents is to build credibility. It's critical to get the agent to gain confidence in you. Now, I see a lot of new wholesalers and flippers blow this step by not knowing what to say and not doing a very good job at building rapport. Most agents are pretty good at sniffing out someone who doesn't know what they're doing. And hey, there's nothing wrong with not knowing what you're doing. Everyone starts somewhere. Every expert was once a beginner. You just don't want to sound like you don't know what you're doing. Fake it till you make it. So first of all, be natural, be relaxed, believe in yourself, have confidence in your abilities. That comes with practice, so the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Now I have 2 videos where you can watch me on the phones for like 2.5 hours straight. Now I highly recommend watching those videos just to see how relaxed I am, how I ask questions, my tonality, when I'm more pushy, when I'm less pushy. It will really help you see how this should look. It will really give you a vision for how to talk to agents. But let's get more practical. To build credibility, I want to control the conversation. And I do that by asking a lead-in question, which is, what can you tell me about the property? Now this establishes right away that you're in control. This also gets the agent talking and hopefully giving you information that is helpful. After asking, what can you tell me about the property, continue by asking questions about the features, the layout, and the condition. Questions like, tell me about the floor plan, where is the laundry room, how high are the ceilings, is there room to add a second bath? So to do this, you really need to understand your market enough to know what's relevant. Now I'll show you in a minute when we cut to the call again, but I ask questions about the basement and the garage and other things that really matter in that particular market. The point here is to ask intelligent questions about the property, get the agent talking and ask their opinion and advice. Take a listen to how I do this.
What can you tell me about it? Looks like a complete gut job, huh?
Yeah, for the most part. It's got, there's some foundation work it needs done. We had it quoted at about $12,000. They were going to do, I think 2 of the walls they were going to do. And then, the inside's pretty much gutted. It does need subfloor in the back with some joists that need to be done.
Okay.
It kind of went all the way through, so...
No, it's not on a basement, it's on a crawl?
The original part of it is it's all a crawl, but it's like a dugout basement crawl.
Michigan thing. Basement type thing? Yeah.
It's not even that. It's one of those ones where you go down there and there's like piles of dirt and it was like...
Okay, so it's not functional.
Tunnels? No.
Yeah, it's not functional.
They do have the heat down there, like the furnace and stuff down there. Yeah.
When I'm looking at that front picture, that garage on the side there, that's connected with like a breezeway or something?
It's connected in the back with an added room. It's probably
right there.
Geez, that room's probably a 16 by 20 room. 16 by 16 room, something like that. That's back. That's why I said it's like I want it to be a mud room, but yet it's too big for a mud room.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just having trouble with it. Like, what?
But that's not the 4th bedroom or anything that they're counting, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, there's another bedroom as you walk towards the front, and knowing you're gonna get in the left lane to start with, and then by Tim Hortons there at the next light, you're gonna turn left. I'm making him take me to a showing.
Oh, you got your own personal chauffeur.
Yep. He wanted to go look at computers today, so he's driving me around.
He's going to charge you for that.
Yeah, I know. I pay enough. Yeah, so it just, you'll see when you get there. It's not bad, but then it's got 2 bedrooms upstairs in the original part of the house. So
it's gonna need another bathroom though. Like one bathroom is not going to work for a 1700.
Right.
Now, the third phase to making offers to agents is to prepare the agent for a low cash offer by justifying your position. Now, what I mean by that is you want to establish with the agent that you're not just aimlessly, blindly lowballing without cause. That usually offends agents. Instead, keep it about the numbers. Talk about the resale value. We call that the after repair value, or ARV. Talk about the work that's needed. There are 2 questions I almost always ask agents. 1, what do you think it will cost to fix up this home? And 2, if I make those repairs, what do you think it will resell for? Now, I may or may not agree with what they say, but this makes the agent feel valued and appreciated, and it builds trust. If you ask those questions, be prepared to talk about it. Before calling the agent, I like to take a few minutes and run the numbers so that I have a good idea. I like to look at some comps so that I can have an intelligent conversation about the resale value. Talking about the resale value and repairs helps the agent realize that you're an investor and it's objective and it's just about the numbers. It helps them see why you need to be at your number. It justifies your position and it gets them on board with you so that they'll go to bat for you. Take a listen.
You know, it's 1,700 square foot.
Mm-hmm.
It'll comp out at over 200 when it's done, though.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, I sold one across the street at 192. There's one down the road that sold for 195, and both of those were less than, the one across the street's 1,500. The other one down the road was 1,200.
Were those remodels?
The one across the street was not a complete remodel, but he did quite a bit of work.
Okay. Yeah, I comped it out at about 200. I mean, I saw some.
Yep.
I saw some kind of dated comps for 170, 180, but they were old and dated. So 200 sounds right to me. So are those other comps? Did they have nice basements or no?
The one across the street, no.
Okay.
It had a basement, but it was just a regular basement. I'm trying to think if the new one. Slam on the brakes, bud. There you go. Sorry, my son's driving.
Sound like me when I'm driving with my teenagers.
Yeah, he's 15, so he's my chauffeur for today.
Yeah, my 15-year-old asked me, "Hey, can I drive, Dad?" I'm like, "No, I want to get there safely. Maybe next time."
You got a good point there.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm trying to think I'm not sure. I think the one up the road there, the new one, I think they did have a basement in it, but I'm not 100% sure. But I want to say that I can't see him getting 195 without one.
Yeah, so I'm wondering how that factors in, if I need to discount, how much I need to discount off the back end on this one without a basement.
Yeah. And then there is one up on the top, right around the corner there. That's a complete remodel. Now, I don't know how big it is, but they want $260 or something for that.
I think I saw that one. It's active, right?
Yeah.
I saw that one, yeah.
Yeah, we looked at that a while back, and
might be overpriced a bit.
It's way overpriced.
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably, I think it's over 2,000 square foot though.
It was 24, I thought I saw.
It was pretty big size,
yeah.
But you're probably looking, in that area, you're probably looking at $100 a square foot. At that size.
Yeah. But you think without the basement, it'll get 200 if it were done up all remodeled, all new?
Yeah, it's a big one. It's got a 2-car attached garage and then a decent yard there. So yeah, I see it being 200. I don't see why not.
And what are you thinking it's going to cost in rehab? Like, what would you budget?
We figured somewhere around that 80 to 90,000.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went in with like 100, but
Yeah, you'd be. If I was having to, like, I was looking at it all, trying to think, all right, maybe I could do it myself, but I'd have to hire everything out.
Yeah.
And I was thinking 100.
Yeah, that's what I hire it all out. Yeah.
Yep. So at 100,000, you'd be safe at 100,000 for sure.
Well,
I think you could get in a little cheaper. The only problem is the cost of everything right now and getting contractors.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I didn't do it.
That's the hardest part. Yeah.
Okay, so the fourth phase to making offers to agents is what I call finding the bottom. Now, I usually already know what my number is, but I want to see if I can find out how low the seller is willing to go. I'll say, I'd like to make an offer. If I can close fast and pay all cash, what do you think is the lowest price the seller will take for his property? Now, some agents will know the seller's bottom line and will share it with you. Some will know the seller's bottom line and will not share it with you. Some will have no idea. Some will think that they know but don't know. And some will speculate. Every situation is different, but I always ask. Now, if I know my offer is way lower than the asking price, I'll soften the blow by saying, my offer is quite a bit lower than the asking price, but I'd still like to make an all-cash offer. Would you be willing to present a verbal offer to the seller that is much lower than the asking price? Now, I found that if I do a good job with the first three phases that I've outlined in this video, I can usually get the agent to agree to that. And notice that up until now, I haven't even given my actual offer price. It's all been prep work for making the offer. Take a listen.
Yeah, so I'd let you write the offer, and I'd like to make a cash offer. I mean, could we get something in front of the seller? I would need just a couple days inspection to get in there and just make sure nothing too weird's going on. I mean, I kind of know, it's not like it needs a kitchen. I know that. I just want to make sure structurally maybe, or, I mean, what do you think I can get for it? I mean, how motivated do you think the seller is? What do you think they'll take?
The owner of it is somebody that does some fix-ups here and there, but he doesn't take. He bought this and thought he would, but then he got busy doing other stuff, and he's like, "No, I just got to dish this off now. I don't have time."
Gotcha.
You know, so it's one of those. So,
well,
you're gonna, as soon as that turns green, the arrow, you're gonna turn left. No, when that turns green, arrow-wise, then you got the good. You can go. They got to stay. When it's an arrow like that, that's a yellow, so you gotta wait for them to come by, then you can go. I think as far as his bottom dollar, I know I had talked to him about it, and I was trying to get him at 40.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't much of a drop, but and he was, because I knew him, he was all right with it, but I don't know, you might be able to still get him at that.
Okay.
If you can do a buyout and not do a land contract, you could probably get them there still.
Just straight cash, you mean?
Yeah.
So finally is phase 5 of making the offer to agents, and that's to actually give your cash offer price. Now, typically I'll give a vague ballpark number that is lower than the number that I want to land at. So if my max allowable offer, or MAO, is $115,000, I'll say, based on everything we've discussed, for this deal to work, I need to be around $110,000. This gives me a little wiggle room if and when the seller counters, so I have room to come up a little bit, and it makes the agent and seller feel like I was willing to give them a little. I want the seller to feel like he won the negotiation, while at the same time, I got my number. And like I said earlier, I usually ask the agent to do a verbal offer first, and if the seller is interested, we can follow up by putting it in writing. I'll say, can you call the seller right now and present my cash offer? And then if interested, we can put it in writing. Now, this increases your chances that the agent will make the offer, especially if it's a lot lower than the asking price. Take a listen.
Well, let's do that. Why don't you go, because I was going to say 35. Maybe, why don't you go in at 40? Yeah, coming. Why don't you go in at, could you give him a call and say, hey, you got to, and then if he wants to entertain that, then you can write it up. I don't want to write it, unless you think it's worth writing up. I just want to be conscious of your time.
I know him. I've bought and sold stuff with him, probably 6 or 7 different places. So
yeah, tell him I can.
I got him on.
Yeah, tell him I can do 40. I do need a little bit of inspection just to get in it, and then and if he wants to entertain that, we can put it in writing.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, now keep in mind, I haven't seen this property in person. I'm basing all of my decisions from spending about 5 minutes looking at pictures and comps, but it's okay because I usually get a due diligence clause called an inspection contingency, which gives me time to send someone to see the property, get bids if necessary, and do a deep dive on the numbers, as well as it gives me a window of time to shop the deal to cash buyers if my goal is to wholesale it. During that time, I can back out of the deal if I need to. As a matter of fact, I do most of my deals virtually where I never actually see the properties in person. Now, if you think that's brilliant, leave a comment and say, Jerry, you are a flipping genius. And if you'd like to learn how to wholesale and flip houses without ever seeing them in person, be sure to get my virtual flipper kit, which has everything you need to do your first virtual deal in the next 30 days. I'll give that to you for free. Just go to virtualflipperkit.com. So let's recap the 5 phases of making offers to agents, including the best questions to ask. Phase 1 is the introduction. Say, hi, Mr. Agent, I'm calling about your listing on blank street. I'm an investor interested in making an all-cash offer. Phase 2 is building credibility by talking about the property. What can you tell me about the property? Phase 3 is preparing the agent for a low cash offer by justifying your position. Say something like, what do you think it will cost to fix up this home? And what do you think this home will resell for after I fix it up? Phase 4 is to find the bottom. If I can close fast and pay all cash, what do you think is the lowest price the seller will take for his property? And phase 5 is to actually make the offer. Say something like, for this deal to work, I need to be around $40,000. Can you call the seller right now and present my cash offer? Now, I hope you're excited to get on the phones and start making offers to agents. To help you, I created word-for-word scripts that you can use as a cheat sheet. Just go to agentofferscripts.com and I'll give that to you for free. But I have to warn you, not all agents are as cool as the agent on this deal. So to help you be prepared for that, I want you to watch a video where the agent was really difficult and wouldn't agree to make my offer. Now you'll see how I handled that, so watch that video right now. And finally, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to my channel. With something like 600 videos, this is the #1 channel on YouTube for all things wholesaling and flipping, and I'll see you on the next video.